You're an HR administrator trying to evaluate employee performance. You need to check if employees have met key performance metrics and decide whether or not they qualify for a bonus. Manually sifting through the data would take forever. What if you could automate 90% of your decision-making process? Well, with just a few logical formulas, Excel and Copilot can handle it for you. In this video, we'll be focusing on logical functions in Excel, specifically the if, and or functions. These powerful tools allow you to create formulas that test conditions and return specific results, making it easier to manage and analyze your data. Whether you're evaluating key performance, tracking KPIs, or managing financial data, mastering these functions will help you make smarter, faster decisions. By the end of this video, you will be able to recognize the purpose of logical functions such as if, and or in Excel. Apply logical functions to evaluate data and automate decision-making processes. Apply logical functions to analyze complex scenarios using Copilot. Logical functions in Excel such as if, and or help evaluate conditions and return results based on whether those conditions are true or false. The if function returns one value if a condition is true and another if false, while and checks if all conditions are true, and or returns true if at least one condition is met.
You can access logical functions in Excel via the Formulas tab under the Logical category by clicking the FX button next to the formula bar, or by typing the function name if, and, or directly into a cell. Excel Copilot can also generate these formulas for you for added convenience. We'll start by applying the if function to check if the employees met their sales targets, using a dataset with details like employee ID, sales target, and actual sales involved. To determine if an employee met their sales target, we'll use the if function. In a new column labeled Target Met, enter the formula equals if. Now we need to test whether the value in cell E2 is greater than the value in cell D2. Then display yes, otherwise display no. This formula checks if the value in column E, actual sales, is greater than the value in column D, target sales. Excel checks the logical test we've entered, and if true, it returns a yes, otherwise it returns a no. Drag the formula down to apply it to the entire column, or use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl and D. Next, we'll use the AND function within an if statement to determine bonus eligibility. The employee must meet both conditions: the sales target and a performance rating exceeding 100%. Enter the following formula in column K, labeled eligible for bonus, equals if. Then we need to start with AND. After the open brackets, we can describe the two logical tests Excel needs to evaluate, being if the value in cell J2 is yes, and the value in cell F2 is greater than 100%, close the brackets. And now we can complete the if function. If both conditions are met and are true, then display eligible, otherwise display not eligible, and press enter. Drag the formula down the table to see which employees qualify for a bonus. For an even more efficient process, you can have Copilot set up this formula and add the additional column for you. Use the prompt, if the employees have met the target and the performance rating exceeds 100%, mark as eligible, otherwise mark as not eligible. Press enter. Now select apply. Finally, use the or function to identify employees who need a performance improvement plan. Employees will require an improvement plan if the performance rating is below 85% or if the target is not met. Enter the following formula, starting with if, then create the OR function. Now enter the two conditions, being the value in cell E2 is less than or equal to the value in cell D2, or the value in cell F2 is less than 85%. Then display improvement, otherwise display OK. Alternatively, ask Copilot to generate this formula with the prompt. Calculate whether an employee needs improvement by checking if their actual sales are less than or equal to their sales target, or if their performance rating is below 85%. Mark as improvement if either condition is met, otherwise mark as OK. Press Enter on your keyboard to execute the prompt. Then select Insert Column to see the results in the data range.
In this video, we covered using logical functions to evaluate and automate decision-making and evaluate the conditions within your data. You learned how these functions can help manage complex scenarios and saw how Copilot can assist with analyzing and combining logical functions for more efficient and accurate data management. Ready to put logical functions to work for you? Try applying if and or to your own datasets and see how Excel can make decision-making easier.